Hello students, I am Seema Suri, Assistant Professor, Department of English, SS Memorial College, Ranchi, Ranchi University, Ranchi. Today I am going to discuss on the topic intonation. This audio session is specially for the student of English Honours Semester 3 and the topic is taken from their paper Core Course 6 Elementary Phonetics and Spoken English. My discussion will be based on especially what is intonation and its functions in English. Intonation is primarily a matter of variation in the pitch level of voice. When we speak, we do not always speak at the same pitch of our voice. Sometimes the pitch rises and sometimes it falls. This rise and fall in the pitch of our voice is caused by the rate at which our vocal cords vibrate. The higher the frequency at which the vocal cords of a person vibrate, the higher is the pitch of his or her utterance. The upper and the lower ends of the frequency at which the vocal cords usually vibrate are more or less fixed. Normally, the vocal cords of an adult male vibrate between 80 and 120 times a second, and the vocal cords of an adult female vibrate faster between 150 and 200 times a second. But within the normal range, the pitch varies from context to context. Thus, the study of intonation is the study of how the pitch of one's voice raises and falls in different contexts. Intonation in English, as perhaps in all other languages, has a number of functions. David Crystal has identified the following 6 functions of the intonation in English. First, grammatical function. Second, attitudinal function. Third, informational function. Fourth, textual function. Fifth, psychological function. And the last, indexical function. Intonation has its grammatical function in the sense that the intonation pattern of an utterance depends to a larger extent on its grammatical structure. So, at first, we will discuss the grammatical functions of intonation. English intonation serves a grammatical function distinguished one type of phrase or sentence from another. For example, your name is Abhishek. Beginning with medium pitch and ending with lower tone, it means the falling tone is a simple example of assertion. But when I say, your name is John, with rising tone, high final pitch indicates question. Yes/no questions and incomplete sentences are said with a rising intonation. Statements and commands are said with a falling intonation. For example, nowadays students are busy in their online classes. Stay at home and be safe. These two are the falling intonation of a language. Now, we will discuss The second one, the attitudinal meaning of intonation. The most important function of intonation is to express attitudinal meaning superimposed or neutral meaning of a sentence by emotions like delight, anger, impatience, sarcasm, and boredom. A question like, "What's your name?" can, for example, be said with a falling intonation and also with a rising intonation, depending on whether it is asked in a matter-of-fact manner or whether it is meant to be a polite inquiry. In a formal interview, this matter-of-fact question would tend to be asked in a falling intonation, but if a child in a family is asked this very question in an affectionate and endearing manner, it will be asked in a rising intonation. When intended to be understood as a rude command, a sentence like, "Can you wait for some time?" will be said in a falling intonation. The informational function of intonation is our next point for discussion. Point number 3. The informational function of intonation. Intonation helps us to find out which part of the sentence and the utterance of the speaker is trying to project as new and which other part of it he wants to be understood as given. The part of an utterance that carries the nucleus, that is the most prominent stress, indicates new information. Fourth, the textual function of intonation. Intonation helps us to understand how the speaker is organizing units of meaning into coherent units of discourse. Radio news readers' intonation, for example, often changes as they move from one important part of their radio broadcast to another. Sports commentators tend to change their intonation to indicate the changes in the speed and quality of the player's performance. Fifth point, the psychological function of intonation. Intonation helps us to organize speech into perceptually manageable units, that is, units which are easy to perceive and easy to memorize. The example that Crystal gives to illustrate this function of intonation is how a sequence of 10 digits like 4, 7, 3, 8, 2, 6, 4, 8, 1, 5 can be divided into two memorizable intonation units. First, 4, 7, 3, 8, 2 and 6, 4, 8, 1, 5. Now, the sixth point, the indexical function of intonation. Intonation, along with certain other features of the spoken discourse, functions at a marker of certain individuals and certain professions. Even if a person is speaking behind the screen, for example, we can easily identify the person on the basis of his intonation, functioning his conjunction with his voice quality. Many politicians have the typical intonation patterns and can be easily identified when they are giving a speech. News readers reading out their reports from a radio station, sports commentators giving cricket commentaries, and army sergeants giving commands to soldiers in the day-to-day morning drills in the field can all be easily identified on the basis of their typical intonation patterns. Theoretically speaking, each of these 6 functions of intonation mentioned above is equally important because each of them helps us to understand how language functions at the level of phonology. So students, now I think that all of you understood that what is intonation and its basic functions in English. Thank you.